a new release from Social Security. Things like the Three Stooges are in charge over there. They're going to do this, but then they don't do that. They're going to do this other thing, but they don't do this other thing. And so, yeah, this is a daily change. I usually do these updates once a month, but it looks like I might have to do them pretty much every day. Before I get into the payment schedule for April, let's make sure you realize that, yes, we are going to get paid. There's a lot of people out there that think that the new regulations that they passed about a week ago, and then they just notified everybody today that they've changed their mind. But a lot of people are freaking out, and rightly so, that they think their benefits are going to stop unless they go down to the local Social Security office and prove their ID. And that is not a fact. You do not have to go down to your local Social Security office or call or anything like that. If you're currently receiving benefits, retirement benefits, survivor benefits, disability, SSI, disabled adult child benefits, divorce spouse benefits, whatever the case, whatever check you're receiving from Social Security, you do not have to call Social Security to identify yourself. You do not need to go down to the local Social Security office on April 1 to identify yourself. You are good. So don't worry about that. There's a lot of social media craziness out there and people reporting this incorrectly. You do not have to go down there. Okay. If you're filing a brand new claim up until about 30 minutes ago, you had to go down to your local Social Security office if you couldn't do it completely online. That's only for a new claim for retirement or survivor benefits or disability or benefits or anything like that. That's what the policy was for about 72 hours. And now it's no longer the policy. So the brand new one that just came out is what I was complaining about. It says, okay, you're making everybody go down to their local office. We got people that, are on, disability and elderly, and they just can't go down to the local Social Security office to identify themselves. And part of the policy, part of the application process in those applications, through the claims path, I've done this a few 100,000 times when I worked at Social Security. There are so many identifying times that you can immediately tell whether you're talking to the actual person. So if anybody's ever done a claim on the phone, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So I said, this is a way to essentially, a backdoor way to prevent people from getting the benefits they are entitled to. And it sounds like someone listened to us and they said, okay, all right, never mind. You don't have to do it anymore. So the new press release that just came out, it says, number one, they are going to extend this new rule. It was going to start April 1st. This is going to be the worst April Fool's prank in U.S. history when 70 million people go down to the local Social Security offices. But they've extended it for 2 weeks. So now it starts April 14th. So they can train the employees on the new system that has to accommodate this, which is crazy. They didn't think of that before. That, again, anytime there's a new system and there's a new policy, the Social Security, the employees throughout the country kind of have to know, okay, what exactly do you want us to do? And they didn't plan on, anyway, Three Stooges. Anyway, so under the updated policy, April 14th is the new date, but they've exempted a lot of people. So if you are filing for SSDI, Social Security Disability Insurance, if you're filing for Medicare or SSI, SSI is, a lot of people confuse this. SSI is not SSA. SSA is the Social Security Administration. SSI is Supplemental Security Income. It is the welfare-based program the Social Security Administration administers. So if you're filing for SSI, and you get SSI, it's a welfare-based program, low income, low resources based on disability or being aged, 65 or older. You do not have to go down to your local Social Security office and identify yourself. They can do everything over the phone. So the only people, so again, Social Security Disability Insurance, you can do it online, do it over the phone. You don't have to go down locally. SSI, you do not. Medicare, you do not. And all right, mark my words here. What time is it? Anyway, 5 after, and they will come out with another release, probably within the next 48 hours. And they'll say, if you're filing for survivor benefits, then you don't have to come down. So because people that file for survivor benefits recently lost a loved one. A lot of them are seniors, husband and wife, and the surviving spouse, let's say the wife is 80, 85, 90 years old, and she wasn't entitled to benefits on the spouse's record because her benefit amount was too high. So she is not on her spouse's record. If you are on a spouse's record and that spouse passes away, then it's automatic. You don't have to do you don't have to do anything. You're automatically converted from a regular spouse to a surviving spouse, and your benefits increase from up to 50% up to 100%. And then you get that embarrassingly low lump sum death payment, the $255. But if you're on the record, you don't have to do anything anyway. That's always been the fact. But if you're not on the spouse's record, you do have to file a surviving spouse claim. And within the next 24, 48 hours, 72 hours or something, I bet you they'll come back and they'll say, okay, if you're filing for survivor spouse benefits and you're over 60, 65, 70, 80, 100 years old, or whatever the case may be, and you're not able to come down, then we're going to make an exception for that. So it's basically, it's retirement. The only people that will have to do everything online, and if they can't do everything online, they have to go down to an office to ID themselves. The only people that will have to do that now are people that are actually filing for just regular retirement benefits. And that retirement benefits also includes auxiliary spouse benefits. So if you're filing for a spouse claim, that's also considered retirement benefits. They don't make any details about what about a disabled adult child. Well, I guess that's disability, but what about a child that's just under the age of 18 and wants to file for benefits on someone that's retired? So yeah, the Three Stooges are in charge essentially. So we'll see another change tomorrow. So this is for someone that that has committed his life to Social Security after the Marine Corps. This is kind of sad to watch what has happened to the agency. And they say, oh, there's 20 million people receiving Social Security benefits that are over 150 years old, and then they say, okay, not so much. We're going to go ahead and shut down the agency, and the next day they say, okay, we're not going to shut down the agency. Okay, everybody has to come in there and do this. Okay, not everybody has to come in there. So. And another thing that's going out there, I want to make sure we save as much aggravation as possible out there. Another thing that's going out in social media land is audits. That there's going to be 2 million audits out there that are going to be kicking people off of Social Security. That is not the fact. So don't worry about those. Those audits, the 2.6, 2.5 million audits that Social Security does, they do those every single year. In my office, we had a quota, the 2 point whatever million has to be done through the entire country, and each office gets a quota on how many they have to do. And those are for SSI, supplemental security income. They're called redeterminations, RZs, limited issues. You don't have to worry about that unless you're receiving SSI. So there's people out there that says, oh my gosh, they're all going to be kicked off. There's millions of audits that are going to be kicking off by DOGE. No, it's not DOGE. It's not Elon Musk. It's not the current president. They've been doing those for decades. When you're on SSI, you get SSI by being on low income, low resource, disability. So those are just regular check-ins with those particular people that says, okay, you didn't win the lottery, over the last, year or so, right? You didn't get a big inheritance, you didn't work or something like that. You didn't move, you didn't get married. So that's what those are. Those are just regular redeterminations to make sure those people are still eligible for those, welfare-based benefits. And SSI does not come out of the trust fund. That comes out of regular, taxation. Okay. All right, so hopefully we've dispersed some of those myths, and I let you know about all of the new stuff coming up there. And so, super long story short, if you're currently receiving benefits, you don't have to do anything. The only time is if you're filing a new claim, or yes, the direct deposit thing is still active. So if you need to change your direct deposit, then you have to do it online, or you'll have to visit a local office. Medicare deadlines. So we're at the end of March here, and there's a couple of Medicare deadlines. If you did not sign up for Medicare Part B, as in boy, when you were supposed to, This is the general enrollment period to where you can sign up. And it ends here in a few days. It ends March 31st. So if you didn't sign up for Part B at 65 or, after being on disability for 2 years, you've got a few more days to sign up. And if you don't sign up in a few more days, then you can't do it until next year, 2026, January of 2026. And there's another deadline. The other deadline is March 31st as well. It's called the open enrollment period. So if you have a Medicare Advantage plan, and you forgot to check it, you say, oh, am I in the right plan for the rest of the year? Am I saving as much money? Is my doctor really, really still covered in there? You can check that. You've got until March 31st to change that. You can change that one time in this open enrollment period, January, February, March. And you can reach out to my partners there at Chapter and give them a call, and they can review your plan and make sure you're still in the best plan for the rest of the year. And what I always recommend is Medicare supplements first. So if you're able to switch to a Medicare supplement, a Plan N or a Plan G, that is usually the best. There's no best. It really depends on your particular situation, but you don't have any prior authorizations with the Medicare supplements. You don't have any networks, but there is a monthly premium. But now is the opportunity to get out of a Medicare Advantage, return to original Medicare, and get a Medicare supplement plan. But you might have to go through health underwriting. So if you're healthy and everything, then, and healthy is relative. So there is no, they don't send you to a doctor or something. If you call up Chapter, they just ask you a dozen or so questions about your health. And if you pretty much answer no to most of them, then you'll probably be able to get a Medicare supplement. But if you're not able to get a Medicare supplement, then, at least check to see if you're still in the best Medicare Advantage plan.